Welcome back to Horse Talk Live on World TV. I'm Lizzie Iwersen, and we have 3 guests today. I like shows like this, and we get to talk to a variety of folks, but they all have similarities in the way that they think about horses and good horses and how horses should be trained and have long, prosperous careers. So we've gotten to see excerpts from the Great Alaska Horse Expo and the clinics that you did. Allison, you're up next. Let's watch your video and see what you were doing in Alaska.
So in ranch sorting competition, it's either a 60-second or a 90-second timed event. And so usually there's 11 or 12 cattle. We're starting with a little bit smaller group here. So here I'm going to step out of the way and kind of let you push him through there, and I'll follow him on through, and you can go back and get another one. Good job. Good. All right, step around there. Push him through. He's actually being pretty good, huh?
He's good once he doesn't walk the other.
So keep stepping to that particular cow's hip there and pushing him along the fence line, and I can step up here and kind of help you. Good. Let's push this one around that way. Step in and drive him that way. Has anybody got any questions so far? She's making it look awfully easy, huh? You're like, stupid kids, make the kids go first. Awesome. Good. You have any questions? He was pretty good. Step over here and pick up the rest of your cattle. Good. Right, now I want you to aim just straight through the middle of those cattle and walk her kind of straight through them and to the fence, and let the cattle kind of peel around her either way, like right in between those 2 black cows there. And just let her kind of feel and be all around her. Good. Pet on her. Tell her, good girl. Good. Just kind of follow them around. Just step right in there and push it. Her nose right on its tail. Good. And just be ready to catch her if she does want to kind of take a chunk out of it, but see if she'll follow that right by itself. Good. And if she doesn't, then just redirect her right to its tail and then release her when she's following it. Just knowing that with her, you might have to take a hold of her if she wants to try to lunge at it. Good. And it's okay unless she's really trying to go after it, like if it trots and she tries to trot after it, that's okay.
Well, these ranch sorting clinics are nothing new for you, Allison. Tell us how involved you are with ranch sorting national championships.
Well, I'm one of their national clinicians, but I really, I really more use it as when I'm doing clinics, it's an opportunity for people who haven't worked cattle before. It's really hard to do a cow horse clinic because cow horse clinics usually end up being for people who are in cow horse,
right?
You know, to perfect their showing and stuff. Because it's really hard to take a horse, you know, I mean, you have to have a pretty expensive, nice, well-bred kind of horse to go do those things for the most part. And so this brings in all these people who just want to move cattle around, and then you're able to like open up conversations about horsemanship and about all this different stuff. And it's really, I mean, we'll have 30 people in a clinic. It's crazy.
What else are you doing at home? You are really involved with the cow horse stuff and helping people get involved.
I do, yeah. I still compete a little bit. Right now I've been working really hard. So, you know, we've developed this cowgirl brand of things, which basically, I know last time we talked a little bit about me wanting to, I brought Lizzie one of our nose bands that a gal named Sierra Smith has been making a line of bronc nose bands for us. But we have like, with Jivenens Customs, they're making a cowgirl saddle for us that's either with a ranch cutting tree or a cow horse tree. But the differences is that it's a little bit narrower twist for women. Okay. Stirrups are shorter. I mean, they're really stylish. All the things that a cowgirl wants. Really well-made saddles. We're working with Buckaroo Leather Products on making, we have a line of cowgirl brand headstalls and breast collars and stuff like that coming out. Working with RES Boots. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they have the replaceable Velcro.
Yeah,
they're
super
awesome.
Smart idea.
And so we'll be doing a cowgirl line with them. I mean, there's just a bunch of different really great products that we're coming out with here in the next. I also am still working with the Colorful Cowgirl, and she's making a line of Macatis for us. I mean, we just have some really great, you know, manufacturing things. As I know that I talked about earlier is, you know, when I started doing more expos and not competing as much or taking people as much to that and doing more of a kind of nationally based clinic program, it's really hard because how you make a lot of your money is on the things you sell as a clinician. And I'm like, I don't have anything. Like, I don't have a special stick.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like we just do horsemanship stuff. And so I realized, I had to kind of come up with something. So this cowgirl logo I'd had for a long time and turned it into kind of a inspirational. I mean, we do a lot of, just talking about how horses and stuff relate to your life and,
Yes.
and
I think
building
it's
and
great.
empowering. It's turned out to be more women. I definitely do a lot of stuff with guys, but that's kind of been where it's taken off. So
It's
that's
great. And look out Reno, Nevada, because Allison and I are going to be
cowgirls
there.
are coming to town.
We are going to be there in a few days for the Snaffle Bit Maturity. So.
Wearing our cowgirl hats. That's the other thing I make.
Dang
is a
right
series
we
of
are.
ball caps that are cowgirl.
So lots going on with you. You can keep up with Allison on her Facebook page. You really are all over the place.
Yeah, which makes it seem like I sit in front of Facebook all the time, but I don't. There's actually many people who me on that front, not just me. But yeah, we do. We're really interactive. Love to have people. We have a fan page there that they can come and visit, and so.
All right. Well, I'm trying to get my mom to come and ride with you too.
Yeah, I've talked to her a bunch. She's super nice.
I think you two would get along great. Well, I know Kimberly, you've got some fun things coming up for girls, especially. So
I do.
Tell us all about this.
So we came up with this idea of the Cowgirls Dressage Getaway Weekend, because dressage can kind of be cut and dry, very technical, it has a reputation, and can be definitely a little scary and a little daunting for people. So my sister and I came up with this idea, well, why don't we just pair dressage classes with wine and hors d'oeuvres? And so our first one's going to be at the very end of October up at Linden, Washington, in our hometown. And we're really excited. I'm getting some great feedback. We're going to do a series of group rides on dressage, just kind of the introduction to it, and then do a ride with a certified judge. So you're going to perform a dressage test in front of her, and then she'll give you critiques on, you know, how to make that circle rounder, that transition clear. So you're really going to learn a lot, but we're going to pair that with live music and wine tastings and just make it a girls' getaway. No offense to the guys, but you know what's great about Western dressage is that there are riders out there that can't be competitive to a certain point with the horse they have in dressage because you just can't compete with those imported warm bloods. You just can't. And so the Western dressage is giving the opportunity for the mom who's decided, hey, I've supported my kid for 10, 15 years. Now it's my turn. And it's giving her a place to go and to be successful and to be competitive, but still within her comfort zone. So that's kind of where my clientele's gone, is a lot of kind of the adult amateurs, the moms. You know, being a mom myself, it's really near and dear to me, you know, how do you fit horses in to your mom duties? And that's something that I know a lot of women out there struggle with. It's like, where can I still enjoy my passions while still putting family first?
So are you accepting new clients and
I am.
students?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I train out of a farm just off of I-5, kind of near Canada, called New Song Stables.
Okay.
But we have a beautiful, beautiful facility and a lot of fun there.
So what does somebody need to get started in Western dressage?
A horse, a Western saddle, any type of gear goes Western saddle-wise. You're better off in an equitation saddle because it gets you in a better position, but you can ride in anything.
And
And
she
then
borrows mine, so she gets cow horse saddles.
I do. One of my girls is riding one of Allison's right now. And then I prefer snaffle bridles at the start because we're really working to get the horse moving from the back to the front, accepting that contact. And I require helmets. Sorry, guys. But that's what I require. So that's really all you need. And then an honest, willing, wanting to learn.
Yeah. And can people find shows to
Yeah,
compete
there's
in?
the Western Dressage Association of America has been really pivotal in helping promote the discipline as itself.
Well,
and
you're headed there.
yeah, I'm headed there. I'm headed to Denver, Colorado for the Train the Trainer Symposium, where there's 30 of us from around the country who are getting together to kind of decide where do we want to take this sport, how do we want to build the education for this sport, and how do we make sure that we're all on the same line, because there are so many variations with different organizations. Yeah.
All right. Well, sounds good. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested after hearing about it. Kade, it sounds like you're going to be still competing in some of your colt starting challenges. What has made you so successful, and what's kind of your philosophy when it comes to starting young horses?
Wait for the horse has been something that took me a long time to learn, and it was actually a trainer challenge that taught me to take my time. And you know, you're battling against the clock, and people make you or think that it makes you rush, but the more you rush, the more everything starts to unravel on you, and before you know it, you're kind of backwards from where you started.
Okay.
So more or less philosophy on colt starting has just been let them make their own decision and wait for them, always give them options, and try not to build any resentment and anger.
So, I mean, that when you are doing a typical competition, how much time do you actually have with that horse?
Usually you get an hour session per time, and then you'll have the first day is 1 hour, the second day is an hour session in the morning and the hour session in the evening. And then you have about a half an hour to 45 minutes to brush them up before the finals, and then after that it's kind of hair straight back. They just turn you loose in the big arena and you hope that everything you did stuck, eh?
It's crazy. I mean, watching it. I mean, they go out in the finals and like in a big arena they've never been in and lope both directions, drag things. I mean, this is a horse with 3 rides.
Yeah.
The drag the log is usually the most exciting one to watch, because if things are going to unravel, usually that's where they
Well, it
do
was
it.
funny, the one he had at the main event, what was his name, Walkabout?
Walkabout,
Something like that. And so literally, like, every time you clapped, he went, so he got the audience to clap when he was supposed to lope in the big arena. And you have to be a little bit of a showman. Like, jokingly, Kade's like, I mean, sitting here with no horse, it's going to be hard to talk. I mean, but he's really engaging and good at doing that in front of crowds. It's very fun to watch.
Well, I know that a big thing with you and your dad is training through trust.
Yeah.
So you're able to gain that trust, right, in those short hours?
That's the most important. Yeah, if you can get the trust and then you can get him the confidence and everything going, the go, turn, stop kind of comes pretty easy. You know, those things will come later, but as long as you have the trust and the confidence, it seems like you can pretty much take him through anything, and wait for him is a big one. Once we start going too fast in the finals, I've had it happen a few times. Actually, in Chilliwack, I finished with 12 minutes left on the clock. I thought it was a race. And it was just because my horse was cruising around and everything went really well, and before I knew it, we were done. So.
All right. And Allison, we know that you have lots going on. Are the 2 clinicians here going to make it back to Alaska next year?
They are for sure going to be there next year. Yeah, that was, I mean, kind of. We certainly had a good time while we were up there too, and so they'll definitely be there. And I think probably the 3 of us will be doing some stuff together, some all discipline kind of things. I mean, really, the reason that I have some pretty strong opinions about what I think is important in horse training, and especially when you're taking that out to the public, which is really what you're doing with an expo.
Right.
You know, it's not people coming just to you.
That's a great point.
Yeah, you're here educating people, and so you never really know what people are going to take away from what you're saying. So I'm pretty specific to like wanting people who I think really marry the talent and skill that it takes to be competitive, which an industry level competition, but then also really believes in the horse and horsemanship, and that everything's connected. I mean, I know sitting in the demos, and this is what when I first saw Kade, I mean, I'm sitting there nodding my head through the whole thing, like, yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I mean. But it is. I mean, we all do different things, but we're very consistent in our programs. And not about the drills or the technique necessarily, but about the building a solid horse. Everything being interconnected.
That
foundation, but just that teaching people that, what you're doing right now, how that affects. And that's when Kate's talking about trust, and the reason their program is good is because, you're building things, and that doesn't end when you're done doing groundwork. It doesn't end. Like the things you're doing when you halter your horse every day is affecting your spin. It's affecting your cow work, and people have a hard time putting that all together because they get so focused on maneuvers and things like that. And so, I mean, I really appreciate the fact that, especially these 2 and the other people who are involved, are like industry level, competitive, very good at what they do, but also really good at educating and caring about the horse and putting that first. And the people. I mean, people are a part of it too. It's a combination. So
it is a hard piece to put together.
It is more challenging than people really
difficult.
think, to be actually proficient at what you're doing, and then still, it's not about, care enough, but yeah, kind of to care enough about making sure that has a good outcome.
All right. Well, everybody, we've run out of time. Appreciate all 3 of you being here today, and look forward to getting to know you better in the future. Hope everybody enjoyed this episode of Horse Talk Live. We'll see you next time.